Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the workshop. Got a great project here I'm going to introduce to you, and I've really got to put some thought into how I want to handle this and tackle this and all of that. But I thought I would just at least introduce you to the guitar. This is I've had it for a while, and I've just kind of been mulling it over and thinking about what I want to do and all that kind of stuff. So you see the case there. What this is, for those of you guitar fans to the channel, it is a 1937, and I'll put the tag with the serial number and all of that. And I went out and found the Epiphone database and did a search. Best I can tell, it's a 1937 Epiphone Triumph. And it needs some work, but I acquired it. And the case, as you'll see when I open this, the case needs some work, so we'll have to think about that. I'm just going to kind of prop it at this point. And let me see what you're seeing. And I think what I want to do is kind of bring you handheld for a second, so bear with me. As always, I'll try not to bounce you around too much, but let me just let you get a look at it. You can see already that the binding is in really bad shape there, and a lot of it missing. Actually, not only is it in bad shape, but a lot of it is missing. The binding around the edge of the fingerboard, fretboard, is missing. And here's the headstock. You can see there's a tuner that is actually missing the post, a bushing that is missing and mismatched, and all of that. Again, I'm not sure at this point. My plan is to keep as much of the originality of the guitar as I can, but it does need a little bit of work. It's got some marks in it and all of that. The only thing that I have done to the guitar, I pulled it out and I put right in this area right here. You can see the dullness of the finish, and so I pulled it out. I took a little spot like right here, and all I did was clean it and put some polish on there, and you can see the shine that has come back. So that may be all I end up doing as far as the finish goes. Again, I don't want to change too much of this. I'm not going to refinish it or anything. And just a quick introductory type video. Again, just a lot of cleanup and all of that needs to be done. The case is kind of broken and separated here. You can see that there's the strap. This is I'm assuming was a strap type hinge, has broken there. This hinge seems to be okay. There's some tape back here. Some of the material on the case, the inside carpet. Again, I don't know how much of this I'm going to address or what I'm going to do or anything like that at this point. This is kind of just pulling it out and taking a look at it. It is an arch top guitar. This is the bridge for it, and the bridge actually this is the original bridge to the guitar. If you can see that or not, 11239, that's the serial number that's on the tag that's on the inside. Again, I'll try to remember to overlay that on the video, but kind of, if you want to think of it in vehicle terms, it's kind of a numbers matching thing. So we definitely don't want to change that guy too much. I don't even know how the neck angle is to this bridge or anything like that. I have not measured any of that. So give me a second, I'm going to put you back on the tripod and I'm going to pull the guitar out of the case and just kind of maybe zoom you in a little bit and continue on with the inspection of this guitar. So hang on just a minute. All right, I'm back with you, and I've repositioned a little bit there so you can kind of see the guitar. As I was rummaging kind of through the case, I actually found some stuff in the case. I found a gear. Can you see that? Zoom in a little bit for you. I found a gear in the case. I also found the post that was missing from the tuner. So those pieces kind of go together like so. So we may be able to fix some of that. I also found that guy. There's still a couple missing. And I'd really like for them to match. So let me see if I can zoom back out here. The other issue the major issue I should say with this, if what you're seeing isn't enough, is the tailpiece. It's, again, being an archtop guitar, I'm going to move this stuff out of the way. The tailpiece is one of these patented frequencator, or patent pending, I guess it is, frequencator tailpieces, and it is broken. So I'm not sure at this point, because it's a two-piece thing. Actually, I think something like this is how that goes. And then there's supposed to be a piece which is actually still attached. Let me see if I can lift the guitar so you can see that part there. Can you see that? So this part is still attached to the guitar. This is supposed to be part of that, and it's broken. So I don't know if I can find somebody. Ideally, I would like to find somebody that could repair this and maybe re-chrome it or something, kind of bring it back to its original state. I mean, they make replacements of these, but it's not the original one, and I haven't been able to find one. I've searched some of the sites, eBay, of course, Reverb, and those kinds of sites, to try to find a replacement for this, and I haven't been able to do it. And I'm not sure what it would cost even if I did find one. So let me flip this over, let you see the back. There's stuff inside too. I'm not sure what it is. You can hear that maybe. Looks like pieces of the binding. Yeah, that's what it is. Pieces of the binding. So you'll hear that flopping around as I flip the guitar over, but it really is pretty. It looks like a curly maple type wood for the back. Just looking at the tuners here, I'm not sure if we're looking at the original tuners to the guitar or not, but we may have to address those tuners being up that way. I don't know if anything, again, I haven't really done any kind of inspecting or anything to see if anything's loose, anything like that. I would really like to avoid taking the back off of this guitar, because I really want to do as little modification to it as possible. But that's the back. And again, back to the front here. I'm going to get my straight edge, I think, and kind of see how our neck angle looks. See if we're going to be able to make the guitar playable. That would be ideal if we could play the thing. I'm just going to go ahead for now and put the screws down as low as I can get them. So that I have the bridge in its lowest position, and I'm just kind of using, there's some marks on the top, and then these little cut-ins from the F-hole are kind of just, you know, we have to intonate the guitar, but just kind of as a marker. My guess is the neck angle is probably not going to be very good. I could be wrong, but unfortunately I am not wrong. So neck angle is kind of bad, but I think what we could do to fix that is, you know, if you can see this wooden saddle here, we could take material off the bottom here to fix that, because we could take quite a bit of that off without changing the guitar very much at all, the originality of it. So I think we got, and I checked the neck. The neck is not loose or anything like that. If the neck was loose, I would do a reset on the neck, but it is not. So I think that's about all for the introductory video. I think what I'm going to do is bring you handheld one more time so you can get a look at this. It's got two, maybe even three different bindings in here, so you can see these channels that were routed in, the outer binding channel and the inner binding channel. So I am going to have to figure out, and then you can see some of the pieces here, which will definitely come off really easily. And I'll try to keep some of this so I can try to match it as maybe as close as I can. I'm thinking about actually, this is like an old plastic type binding, and I'm actually thinking about going and using a wood binding, especially with this having a maple back. Let me see if I can flip this over again, give you a little better view of the back maybe. Yeah, there you go. You can see the, looks like a curly maple back. I'm thinking about doing curly maple binding that would match this really, really nicely. We'll have to do something here and probably put a new heel cap on there, because that looks kind of bad. It's actually, I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can see it's cracked there. So, and again, it's just from being old, and I'm assuming it sat for quite a while without being played or anything else. The other thing that I'm going to have to figure out, see if they can stand it on its side here without it falling over. There we go. I'm not really sure what somebody was trying to do here. Maybe some place to put a strap, but that's just an eye bolt. So we're going to have to deal with taking that out and then seeing how to fix that, and maybe put, I've got some regular strap buttons in my hoard of stuff here somewhere. I've got some strap buttons. I was trying to find one here, and I'm not, so I'm not going to worry about it. But you know, it's got the end pin here. So what I may end up doing is putting a strap button in a typical location here. You see them sometimes. Washburn's really bad about it. They'll put the strap button right on the back of the neck here, and I really don't like that because it allows the guitar to fall forward. Putting it here on the bottom side of the neck really balances the guitar and all of that. So anyway, I don't know what we're going to find once I undo that and get it out of the guitar, but that's not the purpose of this video. It's really just kind of an introductory thing, give you a look at it. It is, again, a 1937 Epiphone Triumph archtop guitar. And this is going to be the project. I'm going to spend some time without you and do a lot of measuring and a lot of thinking and try to put some kind of plan together on how I'm going to bring this thing kind of back from its kind of yuckiness right now, and get it looking. I want to get it to the point where I don't want to refinish it and make it, I guess, look new. I want to get it to a point where, you know, it's an old guitar, and that's what I kind of want it to look like, is a well-maintained old guitar. So that's what I'm going to shoot for, and figure out along the way how I have to do that. And I'll bring you along for the journey. So again, it's this is just the first part of an introductory kind of thing to kind of show you what it is that I've got to work with here, and then where we're going to go with it. And I'll just bring you along. As always, I'll bring you along for the journey. And if you have comments or suggestions or anything like that, especially if you have a suggestion on how to possibly get this tailpiece repaired and restored, I'd love to hear from you on this guy, because I would like to have this original tailpiece and be able to use that on the guitar. I've got a plating company in town. I'm going to talk to them maybe and see. But if you have suggestions on that, I'd love to hear. The other thing is there's a hole on the side of the fingerboard there. I don't know if you can see that. There it is. So there used to be a pick guard on the guitar, and you can see where the bracket attached here. So we'll have to try to track down some sort of a pick guard that matches and all of that. So again, just a lot of thinking, a lot of measuring on my end of things to see how all of this is, how I want to attack this and all of that. But thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Stick around. This is just the first part, introductory part for this. There'll be many more parts to come as I work on this. I don't know if you want to call it a restoration of this 1937 Epiphone Triumph. Thanks for watching. See you again soon on the channel.